And if we say the word school dinners, what comes to mind? Maybe things like sponge pudding, semolina, turkey twizzlers, of course. That's sort of what people will associate. I think green custard is on my list as well.
You've just mentioned that you at school had green custard and pink custard. This is new to me. I never saw anything like that in my school.
No one bothered about e-colours in the 80s. I think that's why.
Well, there's a new exhibition that has been highlighting the history and the culture of school dinners.
Yeah, it's at the Food Museum in Stowmarket in Suffolk, and it's looking at all sorts of things like nutrition, the influence on popular culture and the impact of government policies, and what that's meant for menus served in school over the years.
We're going to go to Zoe O'Brien in just a second, but also tell us what your memories of school dinners are, because I think we have lots of different variations on a theme here.
Yeah, depending what school you went to, when you went, I think that's
and whether you were school dinners or packed lunches.
I was always packed lunch. I was always so excited if I was allowed a school dinner one day.
This is our favourite story of the morning. Zoe O'Brien is there for us this morning. Morning, Zoe. Morning. Take us back to our school days.
Hi, well, good morning from the Food Museum. And yeah, I was certainly a school dinner person, so I'm really enjoying this. Now, like them or loathe them, they are certainly a talking point. And we've got this fabulous table here, which takes us through the decades of school dinners. So it's starting with your stewed liver here, moving on to the 1950s, where we've got stew, mashed potato, and then the 60s, we've got steamed roly-poly pudding. Now, I'm sure a lot of people will remember that. Now, as you can see, just by all of these trays here, they've got nutritional charts, and that is one of the big reasons that school dinners have seen so many changes.
From turkey twizzlers and pink custard to chickpea dal and rice, school dinners have come a long way.
Something for your mind, your body and your soul.
First served up in 1906, government-issued meals meant 3 million children were fed at school in that first year. By 1914, that number had grown to 14 million. But the Second World War in the 1940s brought rationing and food shortages. A typical meal at that time would have been spam fritters, peas and potatoes, followed by rice pudding. By the 1960s, menus featured hearty dishes like meat hot pots with vegetables and potatoes, with a classic custard pudding for dessert. Ultra-processed foods became more common in schools from the 1970s to the 1990s. High in sugar and low in nutrition, these meals contributed to growing concerns about children's health. By the 2000s, childhood obesity had become a national issue.
I wouldn't feed that to my dog. I would feed it to my dog, but I wouldn't feed it to my mate. Certainly not my kids.
A high-profile campaign led by chef Jamie Oliver put school food under the spotlight, forcing the government to take action. The result was healthier menus, fresher ingredients, and the introduction of more salads and fresh fruit, raising the standard of meals served to pupils.
Well, here I am with dinner lady Lisa, and this is taking me back a good 30 years. I've got my tray. I'm ready to collect my school dinner. Now, while Lisa serves that up, I'm going to talk to some of the people involved in this project here. Now, Chloe, school dinners, controversial. Many people will be watching at home today going, oh, disgusting.
People feel very strongly one way or the other. So, yeah, but it has been one of our most requested kind of topics for an exhibition. So it's wonderful to kind of sort of finally be able to bring it to life and have it open.
People have asked for this.
People have asked for it, yeah. I just think it's something that, like, we all understand. We all, you know, kind of go through school and either have school dinners or our packed lunches, and those memories are really strong and yeah, they kind of follow us through into adulthood. So, yeah, it's a big topic to explore.
And what can people expect to see when they come along to the exhibition?
There's lots of really kind of interesting information. I mean, you've already seen the meals and the nutritional information and how they've changed through the decades, but there's also some really fun objects. There's a signed Grange Hill poster in the exhibition. There's some really wonderful videos and some film footage. So, yeah, it's a really lovely one to explore. You'll also get tasters. All of our exhibitions come with a taster, so we'll have something from a school dinner every day. And if you really love school dinners, you can even try one in our cafe, because we'll be serving them up.
Oh, I absolutely love that, Chloe. Thank you so much. Now, I'm going to bring in the museum's director, Jenny. Jenny, just come over here with me, because this smell, this school dinner smell, does it ever change?
I think it always has sort of overcooked cabbage as part of it, and that is definitely a smell that's pervading this space at the moment. But what we've actually got here for you today is from one of the cookbooks that we're displaying in the exhibition, which is a genuine 1950s lamb hot pot, but also the pink custard that everybody remembers from later on with the chocolate pudding. So people really, remember these smells, remember these tastes. It's a really cross-generational experience.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's move over to where we've got our lovely, lovely dinner plates set up over here. Now, a lot of research must have gone into this because it's looking pretty authentic.
Yes, we've worked with quite a lot of different organisations. The School Meals Service Project, which is a joint collaboration between various universities, but also with Quadrum, who are a nutritional specialist who helped us put this together, and a whole variety of organisations. I mean, we've even borrowed stuff from Eton College because they've been feeding children for longer than anyone else at school.
Talk to me about your school dinners here, because I am Generation Turkey Twizzler, but I believe you are right here with the pink sponge custard.
Yeah, I mean, I could not stand custard, I have to be honest. This is not my favourite thing, but this was definitely my era. Square pizzas, loads and loads of chips, baked beans, which, they used to try things like changing it up to be more creative. Italian day, it was beans are baked. It was exactly the same as we had the rest of the week, but it always looked like this.
Now, what do you of nostalgia, bit of learning in here too?
Yeah, I mean, it's a serious topic as well, because really school dinners, the history of school dinners is the history of why we feed children at school, it's the history of what we feel, what kind of society we want to create, how you value food as a child is what you take through to adulthood. It makes a difference to your health, it makes a difference to the state that we have.
Now talk to me about the tasters, because that's what people are going to be interested in there, Jenny. What are the tasters?
So we vary it all the time, but what we're doing with this exhibition is we've got quite a few different genuine school cookbooks on display, and we are taking turns at doing different eras of school food. We've got some which are Victorian, from the early days of experimenting with school food, right up to the current day. So we're starting, I think, with the 40s this week, but it will change throughout the 2 years that we have this exhibition on.
Thank you so much for having us. We'll be back later on, but if you want to come along, if Suffolk's a little bit far away from you, do not worry. This exhibition is running for 2 years.
We'll get there, Zoe. Thank you so much. I didn't realise you could go and actually eat a school dinner.
For the full immersive experience.
Yes. Would you do
and
that?
Smell it. That's the point.
That'd be your first ever school dinner if we did that.
No, I was allowed school dinners every now and then.
Oh, OK.
Like maybe on a Friday, I get like a little
treat.
Yeah, so I was well excited that I could get, chips.
What
basically,
a good idea.
And sandwiches.
And who knew about pink and green custard?
Yeah, revelation.
Yeah.
It depended on what went with it as well. But... And loads of you getting in touch with us this morning about your memories of school dinners. And there's a theme to quite a lot of them.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised, because it's the first time I've heard about this. Stephen Walker has been in touch. He says he remembers chocolate sponge pudding with pink custard. It still gives him nightmares, and he's 64.
Yeah, Harriet's the same. She said she's in Hertfordshire, remembers dinners. She said got a note explaining, though, from home, that eating that pink custard was not mandatory.
I'm not surprised. On the other side, Mark Handyside says at his school in Rugby, he used to actually look forward to chocolate sponge and pink custard days.
Here you go, Elaine. This is my perfect school dinner. Cheese and potato pie, chips, gravy, and a meringue for pudding. That's a win.
That is good. Chips with gravy never fails.
Yeah, I like the sounds of that. Thanks for your company this morning.